Yo, 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 sup, traders. Had to jump in here and take a look at what's going on in the market as Bitcoin is absolutely dumping on us at the Sunday open. Price continuing down. We've been in this downtrend for a while. And then what's going on with gold, the Nasdaq, the stock market? Let's get into it. So, first of all, people are saying the stock market topped because Nvidia had this big blow off top day. And that might be true, but it also might not be true. And it doesn't mean price needs to get straight down. The best reliable sign of a downtrend is a failure to make a new high. So until that happens, I don't see a reason to call top here, even though it kind of looks like one. I would not be a seller on the stock market ever, basically ever. On alternatively, if we lose this high, that would be kind of bearish. Um, so yeah, it doesn't necessarily matter that maybe Nvidia blew off. While the other markets, Amazon's still strong, like US 30, doesn't look like it's top necessarily. Some of the other markets look okay. So I'm not saying that it needs to be a top. Gold has been consolidating for a couple months now. And I would personally, I'm not going to trade it. I'll trade gold later in the year once I have some more gains in crypto and withdraw them to fund my futures account. But I would be looking to sweep either of these lows for long. I don't ever short gold. So that's what I would be looking for is taking this low, or in July taking taking the June low. Now let's move on to crypto. So if we look at the total market cap, we're still off this June low. It's possible price could come all the way down here and take that, especially with trend lines breaking, SMAs falling under SMAs. So we might just trend down. On the other hand, we had a huge liquidation in the altcoin market, and it's still holding. We haven't gone lower than it. Even if we have a trend line break, we took the April low and the May low and are holding above it. And at the same time, Bitcoin dominance took the May high and fell under it. So if you don't know, I really care about calendar highs and lows. As signals, where we've been seeing a Bitcoin solo dump for the past, uh, for how long? The past, since here we had a sell signal on Bitcoin, although I never sell Bitcoin. Right on this day, June 5th, market topped, and now we've been in a solo dump. You see Bitcoin has been making lower and lower lows, where on the other hand, the rest of the crypto market has been trading sideways, and that also actually includes ETH, which has just wicked lower lows and come in. So there's a lot of relative strength. If you wanted to bet on longs, the signal would be on alts and ETH, but we're kind of fighting uphill here as we have a parabolic move and then the market's giving time to digest. So I'm really quite interested in price coming down quite a bit before giving a signal. All that said, our Market Timing Pro system is still long with a stop loss at 3,287. So I personally am along ETH with a stop at 3,287. If I get stopped, I get stopped. It's no big deal. Um, yeah, if we look at Bitcoin, which is just, I mean, all money is on going lower, but the time of day is interesting. We're at the open. It's possible if we're able to regain the old low of day or this old low, price could have a rally and a trend reverse. That said, it hasn't done that, and I'm not here to anticipate something happening that doesn't happen. And also, I'm just observing. I'm not here to trade the low time frame. So what we're seeing is, if we go to the funding rate, is we haven't had an extreme funding rate or liquidation event in Bitcoin necessarily, but funding is neutral, relatively neutral. It's not that bullish really. I mean, it's pretty low though if we look at it hasn't gone negative like we saw down here. So we could maybe use a bigger flush, but it is pretty suppressed. Although we have to consider products like Ethana that are always giga short and kind of hide what traders are doing. So I think that the funding rate is not as useful as it used to be. Let's look at liquidations. If we look at liquidations on Bitcoin, $72 million of longs liquidated, which is not really a huge number, honestly. We had $4 million or $400 million on this candle. So it doesn't make sense to pick a bottom off of that either. So it's, yeah, probably better in general to be out of the market or flat. You could long when you get a new long signal, but we're quite a ways from that. I mean, one possibility would be trade sideways in June for the rest of June and then July, take June's low, which could give a signal. Another one would be to come down and take the April low, or the May low. Or another one would be wait for an actual breakout and otherwise do nothing. Doing nothing is underrated. And my recommendation would be to basically do nothing here. I don't love shorting alts. I did that successfully, and you can maybe follow the trend, but some of them are starting to reverse up. You know, some of the ones that I was looking at, I would have been stopped out of if I had kept, right? I closed my TON short at Tuesday. Where was it? I closed it right in here is where I closed my TON short, so I feel pretty good about that. And don't yet see a reason to be short. Would want to wait to see us fail at the high. Same with some of these other ones, and you know, whatever happens, happens. But what we are seeing is a lot of relative strength in altcoins compared to Bitcoin, which is pretty interesting. ETH showing relative strength as well. Bitcoin dominance going down. I'm really not interested in any longs on the alts though. Doge would have maybe been the one, but because it gave a signal. But the problem with Doge is, why does it not give a signal there? The problem with Doge is that now that there's Shiba, oh, okay, I know why. Now that there's Sheeb and there's Flocky and there's Whiff, there's just too many dog coins competing for the same attention. So I'm just not really into longing any of these, and rather I know that some of them might lift, but I'm not going to try to pick which ones were. Basically, trade a possible ETH bounce, but otherwise wait for a clear signal to come in and go touch grass, run my adventure business, do something else with my life. So hope you guys find that useful. Appreciate you. Much love, and talk to you soon with that quick market update. Peace.